Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Phoenix, and this is the Consumer's Guide to Filmmaking. Sorry this took so long. I was not in the mood for making videos. Now I am. So now you're getting this. 2021, from what I remember, it was a bit of a transition year for me. I finished up college, finally. And ever since, I've just been chilling. Found some decent work for a little bit, that kept me going. And, I started other ventures. Ventures you might end up hearing about in the near future. I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, let's talk about fucking movies and shit. So, because this took so long to make, to even finish writing the list, I saw a ton of movies from 2021, like an obscene amount for me. So, just a warning, the movies list might be 2 videos. It most likely will be 2 videos. It's gonna be 2 videos, guys. Anyways, yeah, so from the year of 2021, I saw 81 movies. That's a fucking lot of movies. And I also saw a bunch of shows and played a few video games. And the video games are what we are going to be talking about first. So let's go with the worst one. Far Cry 6, the definition of mid! Yeah, it was certainly Far Cry. The combat mechanics were pretty good. It was Far Cry, it played nicely. And some of the gameplay ideas, like that backpack that heals you or shoots rockets or whatever, that was pretty neat. The animal companions as well is a neat idea. They didn't do much with it. They were kind of useless, but, it's a welcome addition. But in general, the gameplay is just, can be a bit hit or miss. The graphics of this game are pretty nice. The music's really good. There's this great rendition of Bella Ciao done like a samba piece. That was a bop. Straight banger. But the story of this game is fucking a giant pile of nothing. Oh my god. Like, it's so bloated. There's way too many characters. Way too many. And they do not get enough development for me to even give a shit. Like, I guess Giancarlo, he was great. The villain was kind of fun. But otherwise, I could not give a shit about what was going on in this game. The post-credit scene was kind of cute, though. And the DLC for this game, I played, a little bit of the Voss DLC. It was kind of silly. I didn't get into the mechanics of it. But, yeah, I might play this again when I eventually do a video about Far Cry. I'm not going to say what kind of video it is, but you probably already know. But yeah, otherwise, you could skip this game and not miss out on anything. Yeah. Next.
8.
Resident Evil 8, it was a bit of a lukewarm entry into this series. The gameplay was fine. It's maybe a little easy and forgiving for my taste, especially after Resident Evil 7. It's more action-oriented compared to 7. And the bosses could be just really loud. It really tried to go for that Resident Evil 4 sort of tone, but it kind of fell flat on its face. It ended up feeling a little more like 6. The writing was dumb. Like, quite dumb. But generally, the story was fun. It had some decent emotional and character moments that I quite enjoyed. So yeah, the game was enjoyable. It was fun. But check it out if you're a fan, you know, but I would highly suggest Resident Evil 7 over this. Next.
7.
Uh, you know what? You can consider my appetite whetted for Guardians 3. Because this was a pretty fun game. The story was cute. It's not like James Gunn quality, but it's generally well written. It's funny. It clips along. The dialogue was entertaining. The voice acting was solid. Everyone did really good impressions of the MCU cast. You know, they also maybe brought their own personality to it, but there was a nice balance of tone. There was, like I said, it's funny. It's a funny game, but there's also just genuine emotion that sucked me in. And the gameplay was serviceable. It was amusing. It could be a little clunky at points, but it was way, way better than the Avengers game, let me tell you. The graphics were pretty damn good, and oh my god, the soundtrack. Just bangers upon bangers, and the ending set to the fucking final countdown. That was probably the most Guardians of the Galaxy ending they could have come up with. It was really good. This game's a fun time. Like I said, it's way better than the Avengers game. I say check it out if you're into the cape shit.
6.
Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. What can I say? Ratchet and Clank. There ain't nothing wrong with that. The gameplay is just a tried and true formula. I've played this game before, you know, but it's just always so fucking fun. The game looks really nice. The graphics and the art style are distinctive, and it'll age better than most games because, you know, it has a fucking art style. And it's just a beautiful game visually. The story, it's a fairly typical kids sort of action story. And some of the characters are really neat. Kit, the little girl Clank, she actually had an enveloping arc, and I was really enjoying that. But fucking Rivet, Lady Ratchet, as Yahtzee Croshaw would say, Snatch It, was the worst ever. The worst. Just a terrible character. Wet fucking blanket, no personality. The only way she was made interesting was being part of other characters' arcs. She was only ever interesting when she was tangentially connected to Kit's arc. Like, oh god, just bad. It's a solid enough game though. It'll please Ratchet and Clank fans. So, give it a playthrough. Next.
5.
There's a full review on the channel. But, you know, it's just Suda being Suda. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. Love me some Suda. The plot is fucking batshit. Especially when it gets to the end. It just gets insane. But the gameplay in this game is strong. It is way better than No More Heroes 2. And the art style is great. I love that, you know, pseudo-anime 3D style. It's really cool. The level and world designs are a lot of fun. They're incredibly creative. It's just a fun time. It's No More Heroes. It's fucking Suda. Love that shit. Check it out.
4.
Returnal. Returnal was a really fun roguelike game. The gameplay is so much fun. It's so smooth to control, and it's really challenging. It's this mix of Doom and a game like Ikaruga. It's bullet hell. There's fucking a million projectiles firing at your face. It's fucking wild. And the world design and the enemy designs are all really interesting and cool, especially the bosses. They all look like fucking, like eldritch fucking polygons. They're fucking insane. The acting is well done. The main character is interesting. The performance by Jane Perry as Celine was excellent. There's some like heartbreaking, like gut-wrenching emotion shown in certain parts of this game, but it's the story for me that just, at its worst, it just kind of blows chunks. Like, especially near the end. The end is just kind of predictable and really lame. But that's only like the first ending, apparently. And my opinion on that might change when I play it a second time. But otherwise, this game is really interesting. Check it out. I say, give it a playthrough. Next.
3.
This game is old. It didn't technically come out in 2021. Came out like 14 years before that. But for the Legendary Edition collection, Mass Effect 1 received a ton of extensive upgrades and changes. So I feel this was worth mentioning. Some of the art design of Mass Effect 1 is lost in translation with the upgrade, but a ton of the gameplay upgrades don't change too much about the game. If they do, it's maybe slightly smoother. I still hate controlling the Mako. People will probably say like, oh, it controls so much smoother, but I don't see a difference. I might just hate analog driving controls. Yeah, that might just be a personal preference. But even with like graphical updates, and I will say the graphics and the models and the world got a nice coat of paint, but the animations are still dated and kind of like clunky. It's the writing though, the story, the world, it's still Mass Effect. It's Mass Effect 1. It's damn good from that perspective. I love the Mass Effect trilogy. I'll defend 3 all I want. I love it. I just love this trilogy. I say check the remasters and this version of Mass Effect 1 out. It's fun. Next.
2.
This game, Metroid Dread, it's really fun. It's a really fun game. The level design in this game was interesting and super intricate. It's this big, giant 2D maze that you have to, like, backtrack through. It's really challenging. The shooting mechanics were super smooth, and the platforming is so entertaining. The bosses were super cool. The score, this like synth and orchestral mix, really energetic. It fit the action tone of the game. And the graphics and the art design were really nice. All the creatures were interesting and unique. Again, you know, a game with an art style is gonna age way better than most other games. And onto the story though, I can't really judge the story. This is the only Metroid game I've ever played. But as an isolated story, it was fine enough. It kept the game moving. Maybe if I played other Metroid games, I'd get more out of it. But, man, otherwise, this is a solid platformer. I say check it out. Next. Yeah, this is DLC for a game that came out in 2020. But, fuck all of you. This is the best thing I played in 2021. This DLC is fairly expansive. It's pretty much a 4th-act Virtue Maternal. The new levels are really challenging. The bosses are so much fun. The music's great, the graphics are amazing. It's still Doom Eternal, it still kicks ass. Fuck yeah. Fucking play it. That's the video game list. I didn't play too much, but you know, what I played, I more or less got some value out of. On to TV shows now.